Evolutionists seize on fossils as very important in terms of being able to establish relationships and point out developmental similarities between them and today's living life form. They look to the fossil record to verify their claims that species evolved gradually from each other. Yet, although 80% of the fossil record has now been unearthed, they still have not a single piece of evidence to offer. For that reason, in an attempt to prove their theories, some evolutionists have attempted to manufacture their own fossils, and these are to be forgeries or distortions. The Earth's fires actually that living things have existed in their perfect forms ever since they were first created. Neville George, Glasgow University professor of paleontology, admitted this many years ago. There is no need to apologize any longer for the poverty of the fossil record. In some ways, it has become almost unimaginably rich, and discovery is out integration. The fossil record, nevertheless, continues of gaps. Niles Eldredge, the famous Harvard University paleontologist, expresses the invalidity of Darwin's claim that the reason why no transitional forms have been found is the insufficient fossil record. The record jumps, and all the evidence shows that the record is real. The gaps we see reflect real events in life's history, not the artifact of a poor fossil record. Whenever the fossil record is mentioned, most people mistakenly assume that there is a positive relationship between the record and Darwin's theory. However, an article in New Scientist by David Raup, a professor of geology from Harvard, Rochester, and Chicago universities, refers specifically to this error. A large number of well-trained scientists outside of evolutionary biology and paleontology have unfortunately gotten the idea that the fossil record is far more Darwinian than it is. This probably comes from the oversimplification inevitable in secondary sources, low-level textbooks, and so on. Also, there is probably some wishful thinking involved. In the years after Darwin, his advocates hoped to find predictable progressions. In general, these have not been found, yet the optimism has died hard, and some pure fantasy has crept into textbooks. The American paleontologist Stephen Stanley describes how this aspect of the fossil record is ignored by the Darwinist dogma that dominates the scientific world, and how that dogma persuades others to ignore the facts too. The known fossil record is not, and has never been, in accord with gradualism. What is remarkable is that, through a variety of historical circumstances, even the history of opposition has been obscured. As the biological historian William Coleman has recently written, the majority of paleontologists felt their evidence simply contradicted Darwin's stress on minute, slow, and cumulative changes leading to species transformation. Their story has been suppressed.